Look at this plant, for instance. It might be dead, or it might be dormant, or it might just be dead, or dormant, or dead. Hi friends, so today we're going to talk about Alocasias and Alocasia Dormancy. If you're new here, I'm Larissa, and in this channel we try to make plant parenting easier by explaining how plants work. So this year I fell in love with Alocasias. I have the classic Alocasia poly. I find the leaves so stunning. I have an Alocasia zebrina that is very dear to me. I used to have this Alocasia black velvet, and I used to have this was an Alocasia bambino, or maybe still is an Alocasia bambino, you never know. And I felt really sad when they started dying. So I went online and did all this research and found out about this Alocasia dormancy phenomenon. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys what the dormancy is, how it works, how you can tell if your plant is dead or dormant. And in the next video, we're actually going to talk about what to do when you have a situation like this or like this, how you can help your plant to go through winter and come back on the spring and be a full, healthy, lush plant again in spring. So first things first, what's dormancy? Dormancy is a natural part of the plant cycle. You can see it outdoors. If you live in a country that has winter and snow, it's very, very apparent. All the trees on the street, they go dormant. So the leaves fall during the fall. They stay like that during the winter, completely naked, apparently. Absolutely no growth, no new leaves, nothing like that. And this is not just the plant protecting itself. It's not like the plant completely stopped all activity and became like a rock. A lot of things are going on when the plant is dormant like that, but things are going on underground and inside the leaves. When plants sense they have less light, less water, less resources, they go dormant. They say like there's no point in growing a new leaf, because every new leaf in a plant spends energy. The plant uses energy to keep every leaf alive. So the tendency for the plant is to conserve the energy. So the plant may lose a lot of leaves, especially the ones that are in the bottom or the ones that are the most variegated. The plants will lose the leaves that are the least efficient for the plant. But then you ask me, but hey, wait a minute, inside my place the temperature is constant, it's really nice and warm all year long. Why my plants are going dormant? Because of the difference of light. Plants basically are light eaters. So light is one of the main factors that leads the plant into dormancy. Also, the air gets really dry and the plant feels that it needs to conserve the water that is inside it, or it will start losing water all the time. Before doing this research, I had this idea that a lot of people have, that I need to avoid dormancy at all costs. So a lot of people, what they do, they put grow lights in it, they put humidifier, and they make the plants keep dormancy completely. And that was my go-to approach until I started to research more about it. And I found that actually the dormancy is a necessary part of the plant cycle. Is important because it looks like the plant is not growing new outside, like it's not growing new leaves, but the plant is doing a lot of work in the roots and inside the stem. So the plant during the dormancy period, when the plant doesn't need to focus so much on creating these new leaves, it will direct this energy to getting stronger roots, getting a better vascular system, getting thicker stems, storing sugars and starch for it to grow back way stronger when spring comes. So what I read and what I heard is that if you make a plant keep dormancy and you keep the plant growing all the time, you're gonna end up with a weaker plant. So it's not a bad thing to have a plant go dormant. if you know what to do. And this also has to do a little, this idea of making a plant grow all the time and putting a lot of grow lights on top of it is also a symptom of the modern society. We're always looking for more growth, more stuff, being more productive, doing more, and not resting, keep working, keep pushing, and we're doing that to the plants as well. And we forget that rest periods are part of the natural cycle of nature. So rest periods are important for every living being, for humans, and is also important for plants. So don't skip dormancy. I'm going to let my plants enjoy dormancy this time. And there's another thing. So some plants during winter and fall, they will just stop growing, but some plants will completely almost die like this. And why is that? Why the alocasia, instead of just stop growing or just losing 1 or 2 leaves? Why some of the alocasias go completely dormant in some situations? I have some theories. The alocasia has this, and you're gonna see in the next video, the alocasia has these bulbs that it can store sugars and starch and nutrients. What I can tell that a lot of plants that have bulbs like this, they have this ability of basically come back from the dead as long as this tuber is intact. And also another thing that I learned by observing, researching, and growing alocasias is that the alocasia's leaves are really big, as you can tell, especially in the Alocasia poly, and the leaves are really big in comparison to the plants. So one of these leaves is a huge amount of energy for a plant that is this small in the base. So this is something that happens frequently with alocasias. You can see that when the plant is growing a new leaf, usually one of the other leaves die. You never see alocasia completely full and lush like a bush, like a monstera or a split leaf philodendron. It will always like trade one leaf for the other, because I think every leaf is just so much energy that the plant uses to maintain the leaf alive, that it has to choose. So it shed the older leaves to grow new and bigger ones. And I think when it comes to this phase of the year, this time of the year of low light, low energy, the plant just doesn't have the energy to sustain this high spending structures in it, that is the leaves. So it just can't sustain all the leaves. I don't know, maybe the plant knows that it can come back in spring if you really take care of it. Another thing is how to tell if your plant is dead or if your plant is just dormant. Because look at this, look, it can be dead. First of all, there's no way to know 100% for sure until you try to grow it back. This plant may really be dead. But I think first of all, look for tubers. In the plants that have tubers, they have this ability of coming back. Check to see if the tuber is healthy, if it's thick, if it's firm, if it's not rotted. Also check the roots, because if the plant is still alive, they're gonna have like intact root system. A lot of causes of plant dying is root rot. So if you check the roots and they are like black and mushy, it's probably your plant beyond salvation. Yes, and you can just store the tubes for the winter and hope for the best. They will come back in spring. So that's all I'm gonna say for now about this phenomenon. Don't forget to subscribe so you can check out the next video, in which I actually go and dig the tubers out and show how it works, how you can store it for winter. And if you like this video, you're also gonna like this one, in which I talk about how to increase light for your plants during the winter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!